Good morning, poets. Today is Monday, May 4th, and our objective is to recognize lines and stanzas in poetry, and also to just pause and notice the world around us. We're going to start with lines. The line is the most basic structure of a poem. Lines consist of a word or group of words that are arranged in a row. The last word in a line of poetry is usually pretty important. Often it's a noun or a verb, an adjective, or an adverb, rather than a word like and, or so, or because. Sometimes the last word follows a rhyming pattern. However, in free verse poetry, which doesn't have any rules, the lines are often uneven. Stanzas. A stanza is a group of lines in a poem. Often a stanza has a specific, consistent number of lines throughout the poem, but not always, especially in free verse poetry, which, remember, has no rules. Now we're going to look at a poem called About the Teeth of Sharks. And what I want you to notice is how I read the poem. Sometimes when I get to the end of a line, I pause, especially if there is a punctuation, like comma or a question mark or a colon. But sometimes I read through to the next line. Let's listen. About the teeth of sharks. The thing about a shark is teeth, one row above, one row beneath. Now take a close look. Do you find it has another row behind? Still closer, here, I'll hold your hat. Has it a third row behind that? Now look in and look out, oh my, I'll never know now. Well, goodbye. The thing about poetry is it's meant to be read out loud, and sometimes you have to practice it a few times to get it right. Okay, now let's look at lines and stanzas. So if you look at this poem, there's one line here, a second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7, 8. So there's 8 lines. And they do rhyme the last word. So there's a pattern there. Stanzas, this is a stanza, so that's 1. Here's another, 2, 3, and 4. So there are 8 lines and 4 stanzas. The next poem I want to look at is called Dreams by Langston Hughes. Now that name should be familiar. We've already read a couple of his poems. I really like this poem, and I'm very excited to share it with you. So let's get started. Dreams. Hold fast to dreams, for if dreams die, life is a broken-winged bird that cannot fly. Hold fast to dreams, for when dreams go, life is a barren field frozen with snow. Now that part, hold fast, might be a little confusing, but it just means to hold on tight to them. Don't let them go. Your dreams about your life, about the world, about the future, about today. Let's look at lines and stanzas with this poem. Starting with lines, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 lines. And as you can see, those are broken into 2 different stanzas. Now, there's also either 2 metaphors or 2 similes that are pretty prominent in this poem. There's one in the first stanza and one in the second stanza. I'd like you to tell me in the comments section of our Google Classroom whether there are 2 similes in this poem or 2 metaphors. And now we're going to think about just regular, normal, everyday things. Shooting a basketball, listening to a bird sing, making dinner, kicking a soccer ball, going to the beach, dancing, watching a snail, playing a musical instrument. And all of those have poetry within them. I want you to start by just observing the world around you. What are some actions that you perform daily or weekly that could be a poem? Maybe riding your bike around town, listening to music while cleaning your room, taking your dog for a walk, waking up in the middle of the night. Now I'd like to share with you some actions that I do on a daily or weekly basis that could become poems. Putting a puzzle together with Ceci while watching TV, getting annoyed with a cat for jumping in the middle of the puzzle all the time. Those of you who have a cat might understand what I mean there. Eating Hawaiian pizza on a Friday night, running along the Bay Trail, folding fresh-smelling warm laundry, opening the window so Coco, the cat, can see and hear the birds, standing outside and gazing up at the moon and Venus, which is pretty bright right now in the evening sky, trying not to cry as I chop onions for a dinner recipe, making coffee and waiting for it to finish brewing, wondering where the weekend went Sunday evening at 8 o'clock, making a new yummy dessert from my Moosewood Lodge cookbook, practicing Somewhere Over the Rainbow on the piano, Zooming with family Saturday afternoons at 3, watching and listening to the rainfall, taking out the recycling, compost, and garbage every Wednesday night. Notice that a lot of these are pretty specific. I didn't just write Zoom. I wrote Zoom with family, Saturday afternoons at 3. I wanted to be as specific and clear as possible. And that's what I'd like you to do as well. I'll explain in the next slide. Now it's your turn. You're going to make a list of 15 to 20 actions you do any given day or weekend. Try to be as specific as possible. So for example, don't just write eat breakfast. Come on, lots of people eat breakfast. How can you make it more specific? How can you make it about you? Maybe eating Cheerios while my sister argues with me about stealing her iPad. You're going to work on this document, which I'll open in just a moment, in Google Classroom. Don't turn it in today, though, because we are going to use it on Wednesday as well. And then you can turn it in. This is what the Google document looks like. You're going to brainstorm 20 actions that you do on any given day or weekend and try to be as specific as possible. So for example, don't write running or run. Where do you run? When do you run? So running along the bay on an early Saturday morning is a lot better. On this table is where you are going to type all of your actions. Now at this point, I want to just encourage you to grab a piece of paper, a pencil, or a pen, and try to do this activity away from your computer. Maybe you can go outside if you're able to, or maybe just go to a different part of your home or apartment, or maybe stay where you are, but just close the computer and try to work on paper and pencil for for just a little bit. See if your thoughts and your creativity flows a little bit better that way. I will be available on Zoom during class time today. If you have any questions, please stop by. You can also email me, and I look forward to reading all of your detailed ideas and actions that will fill this chart. Have a great day.